So it's been 4 weeks into the summer season and we already have top anime of the year contenders like Jujutsu Kaisen, Zom 100, Jobless Reincarnation. But what if I told you that one of those top anime of the year series is about a giant cat cleaning and cooking for his owner? The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today is a series about Yuchi, a giant cat who likes to cook, clean, and go grocery shopping as he takes care of his owner, Saku, who rescued him when he was just a little kitten. Yuchi cooks her lunch, cleans their apartment, and does as much chores as possible to help out Saku as she's at work. Now, this wasn't on my radar to review until I actually saw a small clip on Twitter of people praising their animation, and I wanted to go ahead and give my little 2 cents into this series. So the clip that I saw was of Yuchi dragging Saku to the bath while the room turns from hand-drawn animation to CGI. So already my mindset going into episode 1 was pretty high, with this series having top tier amazing animation. And for the most part, it was pretty good. At first I didn't know how to feel about it, with the opening being like a fully CGI scene. It was cool to see like the buildings, the sky, and even the people walking around looking really nice, even though it looked like an old video game cutscene. But when it came to the cars, I don't know why, I just didn't like how shiny the cars were. But again, it was still pretty nice animation for the setting. We also have to talk about the lighting in this series, especially for this scene and every time they showed the outside. Lighting plays a huge part when it comes to the animation here. A lot of lens flares, a ton of shadows and reflections, like it was using an RTX graphics card to run this entire episode. Thankfully though, the entire series isn't like this, and instead is in hand-drawn animation. They even experimented and tried to mix hand-drawn with CGI like in the first clip shown. But one of my favorite clips is when Yuchi is learning a new recipe and it cuts to a live action type animation on the TV. I haven't seen many animes use this type of animation. It was pretty cool to see such a weird but cool looking animation used here. I just wish that they just used it more often. The characters are animated nicely. The settings that aren't the outside, like the office and the apartment, are also well designed and animated. But I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the lighting for the office feels really dull. I don't know if that's on purpose to show that it's really boring to work at an office space, but I just hope to see more of this like type of experimental animation in future episodes. So far though, this series has over 2 episodes and 47 chapters out as of recording this, and it fits the Kami Can Communicate or the Dangers of My Heart episode format where they adapt around 4 to 6 chapters per episode. This series in general just reminds me a lot of The Way of the House Husband, where it's an ex-Yakuza member who becomes a housemaid and does chores all day. I didn't really like that series. I found it pretty boring, but for this series, the main reason it works for me, at least personally, is because of the main character, Yuchi. Now, the side characters are pretty few. You have Saku's friends and her hinted love interests, the grocery store people, and this one grandma. They're alright in their own way, but my favorite will have to be Saku's boss, Orizuka, just because I like myself a good romance. I like that there isn't a ton of side characters hanging around. Usually a series that would have a ton of side characters all in one big ass group, and it usually makes them pretty forgettable, but here they have like their own lives and aren't directly connected to each other, just only the main characters. This series mainly focuses on the evolving relationships between the main characters Saku and Yuchi. While in hindsight it seems to be nothing more than just turn off your brain entertainment, it is nice to see that there is a bit of lore to the series. I personally like the backstory of Yuchi and how he got saved by Saku, and it's really fun to hear his thoughts and feelings about her, and how he's only doing chores and helping around so Saku can just focus on getting money to buy him food. My guess is that in later episodes that mindset will start to change and he will start to confess on how he really feels about her. Definitely their relationship is going to get stronger by the end of the season. But I also like that in episode 2, Saku questions how Yuchi is so big. Like, she knows it's not normal for a cat to be cooking and cleaning and being 6 feet tall. And even though the question was avoided, I don't think this will be the end of that conversation. Again though, this series feels like a Kami Can Communicate or The Way of the House Husband, where every episode is just a bunch of different scenarios. It's either Saku at work talking to her boss or her friend Yuri, Yuchi cooking a new recipe, or both of them just hanging around. If you don't like those types of series, then this isn't really the series for you. But overall though, even though this series is pretty similar to other series out there, I feel like this series has the potential of being a really fun and amazing series from the chapters and episodes that are currently out. The animation is really good with different designs and styles all mixed together. Hopefully this series can do more experimental and weird animations more often. I like that there aren't many side characters, and the ones that are there are pretty memorable, but obviously the main characters, Saku and Yuchi, are the best part of this entire series. Their relationship is not only funny but also heartwarming, with a lot of backstory and lore getting ready to be revealed. I know it feels like I'm thinking too much on a series about a giant cat doing chores, but this series is really starting to grow on me the more I start reading more into the manga and watching every episode weekly. I don't know why this series has depressed in the title, because this series is nothing more but lovable, wholesome, and just a great enjoyment of everybody's time. If you haven't seen this series, I definitely recommend it, and if you have, then what are your guys' thoughts on the series? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next episode.